Welcome everybody for being in attendance. It is 5:49. I do call this meeting to order on September 17, 2018. Item number one, roll call and declaration of quorum.
Alex Cantu, present.
John Anise here. Oscar Salinas here.
JJ Peña present.
Francis Salinas present.
And Armin Garza present, I do declare a quorum. Item two, discussion of La Jolla ISD's optional flexible school day program.
This evening, we have Sandra Gonzalez, and she's the director for this program, and so she'd like to discuss this program with us, and then we'll have an opportunity for the public to ask questions, and if there's any questions. Mrs. Gonzalez, you have the floor. If you'll just move closely to the mic, to the other side. Thank you.
Yes. Good evening, Board President, Board of Trustees, Dr. Benavides, Assistant Superintendents, and community members. I'm going to begin with a brief description of the program, then follow up with a 2017-2018 OFSDP report. OFSDP is a program that a district may offer to provide flexible hours and days of attendance for students in grades K through 12 who meet certain criteria. A student may participate if the student has dropped out of school, the student is at risk of dropping out. As a result of attendance requirements under the 90% rule, the student will be denied credit for one or more classes in which the student has been enrolled. The student is attending a school with an approved early college high school program. Participating campus for this school year include all three comprehensive high schools with each 350 participants. And that includes students from CCC, Health Science Professions, La Jolla Early College, and the academies. Also participating is our Hope Academy, Jimmy Carter, Thelma Solis, STEM Early College High School, and they can have up to 50 students participating. We have our 8 middle schools participating, and they can have up to 50 students participating, and we have our 23 elementary schools participating, and each can have up to 50 students participating. Program objectives and goals. The purpose of the program is to offer flexible schedules to qualifying students, and our goals are to improve student attendance, academic achievement, and the graduation rate. So for our 2017-2018 report for this program, we had a total of 1,698 participants, and that includes students from the high school, middle school, and the elementary schools. We recovered a total of 136,809 instructional days through extended day and weekend classes. And we also had a total of 112 graduates on the OFSDP program. Mr. Board President, you can open to the public for comments or questions.
At this time,
I'd also like to report one very important fact, that we had an average daily attendance as a result of this program of 94.3%.
That is correct.
at this time, we do open up to any comments we have here from the public. If there are no comments or questions at this time, we adjourn this meeting at 5:53. Can I entertain a motion?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you for being in attendance. We're about to get our meeting started. It is approximately 6:02, and it is September 17, 2018. I call this meeting to order. Next item is roll call and declaration of quorum.
Alex Cantu, present.
John Anise here. Oscar Salinas here.
JJ Peña present.
Francis Salinas present.
Armin Garza present. I do declare a quorum. And on to our next item, our Pledge of Allegiance. If everybody could please stand.
Good evening. Before we do our Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like to announce that Eddie Valdez is a student at, an 8th grade student at Desavala Middle School. He's a great role model of this community, a current participant in the following clubs: Junior Honor Society, Athletics, FCA, Student Council Representative, and a Roundtable Representative. And I also understand that today's his birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Great
Happy
job.
birthday.
You represented your campus well, and we're proud of you.
Happy birthday.
If his parents are here, would you please stand? And his principal, I know Dr. Dest is here. Yes.
Moving on to item number 4, approval of minutes. Can I entertain a motion?
I'll go ahead and make motions for items 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, under approval. And 7.
I have a motion by Mr.
Second.
Lindis. Do I have a second? I have a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Next item, number 5, superintendent's report.
Under the superintendent's report, I'd like to report that we had 13,359 elementary students and 14,487 secondary students. This is as of Tuesday, September the 11th, for a total of 27,846 students. Questions on the enrollment report? If there are no questions, I'm going to ask on Mr. Peña and Mr. Cantu to please step forward while we recognize some of our staff members and students. We're going to start with the recognition of parent volunteers who got recognized at the state level this past Friday, and we're very happy about that. We have Ms. Marina Abdullah, our Executive Director for Student Services, who's going to help us with these introductions. I understand there was only 15 awards, right, Mr. Vela, 15? And 2 of them were from La Jolla ISD, so we're really, really excited.
We were waiting for the second one, thank you.
Not a problem, not a problem.
Okay, Heroes for Children. The State Board of Education established the Heroes for Children Award Program in 1994. The award is designed to recognize excellence in advocacy for education and to highlight the many outstanding volunteers whose efforts represent significant contributions to public school education in Texas. Since its beginning, the award has provided a means to recognize Texas residents who render selfless acts of service by offering their time, effort, and support to public schools and students. The award honors volunteers who have made outstanding contributions to student learning and who have demonstrated sustained periods of involvement and support of public education. Each year, the 15-member board recognizes one hero from each of their districts. The Heroes for Children Award recipients are honored at the SBOE meeting in September. The ceremony is held at the William B. Travis State Office Building. This year, however, 2 of the 15 recipients are from La Jolla ISD. First, we have Mirtala Vasquez, who was nominated by Monica, the parent educator at Kika de la Garza. A correction again. This one that just came up was from Garcia Middle School. She was nominated by the Garcia Middle School social worker, Priscilla Weber, and also the social worker at Palmview High School, Joe Ramos. Congratulations. Okay, the one from Kika de la Garza now, who is Miss Elvia Olivares, and I'm proud to say she is our DAG president. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations.
We're just so excited that we had two instead of one. Excuse me for that.
If we could have their principals come up and take a picture, and the two of them, and if the people who nominated them are here also. It's a big award, guys. This is very, very important. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias por el trabajo que ustedes hacen de voluntarias para ayudar a nuestros niños en la escuela. Congratulations and thank you. Our next recognition is recognition of students from La Jolla High School, Juarez Lincoln High School, and Palmview High School T-STEM Academies who participated in the second annual University of Texas Rio Grande Valley Research Symposium at the McAllen Convention Center. Mr. Chavez, our Academy's director, will introduce the students. Thank you, Mr. Chavez.
Thank you. Good afternoon, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Benavides. My name is Lupe Chavez, and I proudly serve as the Academy's Director for La Jolla Independent School District. It is my pleasure to introduce today Dr. Angela Chapman from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Dr. Chapman serves as an Assistant Professor of Science Education and is also the UTeach Co-Director at UTRGV. Dr. Chapman is going to provide you with a brief description of the J-STEM program, the UTRGV Science Research Symposium where our students participated, and recognizing the students who completed the program. Thank you. Dr. Chapman.
Thank you. Yes, I am Dr. Chapman from University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, and this is our third year in collaboration with La Jolla ISD with J-STEM, which the J stands for journalism, and most of us know STEM. And it is an interdisciplinary program and a great collaboration in which these high school students come in for 6 weeks during the summer in a very research-intensive environment. And journalism students document the experience and create a documentary of what our STEM students are engaging in. The STEM students were invited to present at the school, UTRGV School of Medicine, their second annual research symposium on Saturday. And all the students were in attendance and were very well received and are also being recruited into UTRGV to hopefully pursue a journalism or STEM career. So with that, I get the pleasure of recognizing the students who I've gotten to know some of them very well. So from La Jolla T-STEM, I have Brisa Barrientos. Eduardo Villapando. Alejandra Cantu. Emmanuel Matamoros. Adrian Suarez. Sebastian Acosta. Sergio Acosta. Angel Lopez. Kevin Alanes. And Omero Beltran.
A special thank you to the T-STEM Academy directors from each of the high schools and the principals. If the principals are in attendance, would you please stand? And I would also like the parents of these students that were able to make it to please stand and be recognized. Great job, Ms. Chapman. Thank you very, very much. It's okay if you recruit them, but only after they graduate from high school. Our next recognition is recognition of schools that achieved a district projected overall letter grade of an A in the 2018 ratings using the Texas Education Agency data. This year, the accountability system asked for districts, or not asked, only rated the district with an overall grade, and La Jolla ISD made a B, but we used the same information, thanks to Dr. Rivera, to make projections locally as to what our campuses would fall at, and these campuses fell at an A, and we're really, really proud of them, and so we'd like to recognize them this evening. First is Jimmy Carter Early College High School, Claudia Gomez Perez, principal. Next is Thelma Salinas, STEM Early College High School, Dali Garcia, principal. John F. Kennedy Elementary, Mary Guerra, principal. Elodia R. Chapa Elementary, Linda Laura Lopez, principal. Jose de Escandon Elementary, Mary Sepúlveda, principal. Lloyd M. Benson Elementary, Hilda Mendoza, principal. Enrique Quique Camarena Elementary, Mary Lily Garza Ibarra, principal. Américo Paredes Elementary, Erica Gonzalez, principal. William J. Clinton Elementary, Martin Munoz, principal. Again, we're very, very proud of these principals. They're lighthouses in our district that are going to help us get all the campuses at an A and help our district get an A also. I heard some loud roars, so if you're a staff member at these campuses, please stand and be recognized. We're very proud of you. Great job. Thank you very, very much. We're very proud of you. Our next recognition, as I've been going around the campuses, I see groups of custodians that have taken their jobs very, very seriously and are really, really giving it all they've got to have a beautiful, beautiful, well-kept campus. And so tonight, we're proud to be recognizing the Central Administration, here at Central Administration, the Juarez Lincoln custodial staff. Is Mr. Lando, are you going to do it, or you want me to do it? Okay. Diana Basan, custodian. Arminda Cantu. Juan Elizondo. Benita Gonzalez. I know some of them are working probably. Teresa Gonzalez. Melva Hinojosa. Rosa Lucio. Blanca Montalvo. Eduardo Olivares. Teodoro Ontiveros. Juan Osuna. Laura Rivera. Dora Sánchez. Araceli Treviño. And their leader at Juarez Lincoln High School, head custodian, Jose Luis de la Rosa. Thank you again. Their principal is here, Mr. Estrada, so thank you for supporting your group. Thank you, sir. Our next recognition, we're also very excited, is a recognition of a teacher at Desavala Middle School. We just got word on Friday, and I'll let Ms. Abdullah do this introduction. She's part of the Gear Up recognitions that are going to be held at UTRGV.
Thank you. Gladys Enriquez, math teacher at Lorenzo de Zavala Middle School, received the Hispanic Engineering, Science, and Technology HESTEC Math Teacher of the Year Award. She will be recognized on October 5th, 2018 during the HESTEC Educator Day reception at the University of Texas RGV in Edinburgh. Mrs. Enriquez was nominated by the Zavala Middle School Gear Up Coordinator, Cristina Villarreal. Mrs. Gladys Enriquez is an 8th grade math teacher and math department chair at the Zavala Middle School. She has been an educator for 11 years. She brings many innovative ideas to her students by not only using technology in the classroom, but also pre-recording specific lessons. So if there are students who did not understand the skill that was taught, they can rewatch the lesson on their own time. But most notably, Ms. Enriquez demonstrates compassion, love for all of her students, and it is very evident in her teaching style, classroom management, and the relationships she builds with her students and the families. So congratulations to Gladys Enriquez from all of La Jolla ISD for HESTEC Math Teacher of the Year.
I'd like to ask Dr. Ureste to please come forward for the picture, and the UTRGV Gear Up representatives that are here also, so they can be in the group picture. Congratulations, Ms. Enriquez. Congratulations, yes. Great job, Christina, appreciate it. Yes, all right. Congratulations again, Ms. Enriquez. Very, very proud of you. I believe that concludes our recognitions. Thank you to Mr. Peña and Mr. Cantu for helping us recognize our staff and our students.
Moving on to item number 6, our discussion items. Item number 1, La Joya ISD Annual Performance Report for 2017-2018.
Good evening, board members. Mr. Garza, Board President, Dr. Benavides. This is the La Joya ISD 2017-18 Annual Performance Report. Sorry,
Do we have the packet?
I thought I had given that. No?
Was it in our packet? Nobody has it? Not even I have it, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Dr. Rivera.
Yes,
Sorry.
ma'am. So La Joya ISD was rated a B with a score of 86, 2018. All the campuses in La Joya ISD met the standard. There are no campuses in the improvement required status. The next, the next few pages show the distinctions earned by the campuses at La Joya ISD.
And we will have an official recognition of all the campuses with their distinctions on October, in our October meeting.
Page 5 goes on to the new accountability system, having 3 domains: student achievement, school progress, and closing the gap. Page 6 shows the result in the STAR test from last summer, last December, and in the spring, all combined into one. You can see the scores for reading, math, writing, science, social studies, comparing La Joya ISD to the state and the region. Oh, and that is the percent of students passing the test, what they call approaches. On the next page, page 7, we see the same subjects, but this is for students scoring at the MEET level, which is scoring high on their test. The kids that score this high have a 60% chance of passing their college test or classes in their freshman year. On page 8, as the state is now emphasizing kids who score high, these are students who scored almost perfect on the STAR test. You can see the comparison between the state, the region, and La Joya ISD for the 5 different subjects. On page 9, the state is now looking at what they call college, career, and military readiness. You can see how La Joya ISD compares to the state and to the region. The next 3 pages show graduation rates. The state keeps track of 4-year graduation, 5-year, and 6-year. With the new accountability system, the state is now tracking growth, student growth, and you can see here the comparison between the state, the region, and La Joya. In ELA and reading combined, in ELA reading, and in mathematics separate. page 14 shows what they call relative performance. So this is how La Jolla ISD performed compared to other school districts that have similar numbers of economically disadvantaged students, similar percentage. And La Jolla scored an 88, which is a high B. The next few pages show what the state used for federal accountability. And when the federal government looks at the results, they look at it by group, looking at groups like special ed or English language learners. You can see the results for La Jolla, the region, and the state. The same thing for growth, for reading and mathematics. You also have the graduation rates. They only look at the 4-year graduation rate at the federal level. This year, we don't have TELPA's results yet. That's just a test of how well the students are learning English, and that test was redesigned this past year. So those results will be in October. And finally, we have our results for the June STAR test that just happened this summer. And those are students who are retaking the test. So typically, they don't score well, they're struggling. We did notice that our Algebra 1 scores were quite high, and we're paying attention to that. And finally, you can get all this information through the internet these days, very public. So, I don't know if y'all have any questions.
I know that the main requirement for today's public hearing is that you share the STAR results for us. So we did that.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. The STAR results are the main requirement for this report.
Any questions on any of the presentations that Dr. Rivera did? If not, again, we're proud of the work that La Jolla ISD, all the principals and staff, curriculum and instruction staff, and everyone else that contributed to us doing well in our district, and for us to get an 86, which is equivalent to a B, and we're proud of that B, and we're shooting for the A for next year. Thank you, Dr. Rivera. And Mr. Salinas is reminding me that when the accountability talks were preliminary, La Jolla ISD was projected to have a D as in dog. I want to think I'm teaching second grade again. And we worked really, really diligently, thanks to all the staff members and all the principals and their staffs and the curriculum and instruction staff and everyone else, because it takes a team effort. And we moved up to a strong B, 86%. So we're really, really proud.
Okay, moving on to item number 2, discussion of school plans to improve overall letter grade and distinctions, designations, and the Texas Education Agency 2019 ratings and distinctions.
What we're going to do as part of the requirement from Senate Bill 1566, which says that we should look at our agendas and they should be more student academic oriented. And that's part of the requirement that the state is doing. And the board members, I'm proud to say, have all completed their required training on that Senate bill. But today we have some principals that are going to be presenting what their plan is to make sure that they move their performance level to an A or a B, hopefully an A. Okay? Dr. Sainz, who are we starting with? We have Flores Elementary, and Jackie Escobedo is principal at Flores.
Good evening, board members. Good evening to the community. Good evening, Dr. Benavides and assistant superintendents. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge and to thank my instructional focus team for being here. This is primarily comprised of my grade level chairs. And if you can please stand up and show the board who you are. This is my grade level chairs, including some support staff, and Mrs. Salinas, my assistant principal for Flores Elementary. I'd like to thank them for being here this evening. We felt that it was important to be present together as a team to affirm our commitment to you, to the students, and to the community for an A for next year, Dr. B. For our 2018-19 campus goals, we're beginning with reading. For reading, we do have 90-60-30. This particular data set is something, accountability system that we had been working under the direction of Dr. Science and Dr. Rivera, which is going to lead us to an A as a campus. So you'll see this as a theme throughout all of the contents. So it's 90% of the students that have to meet approaches, 60% meets, and 30% at mastery. With those goals in mind, that's for 3rd through 5th grade as measured by STAR for 2019. And in this particular area, it's also to achieve a distinction in the area of reading and academic growth. Alongside 95% of 1st and 2nd grade students will be reading on grade level by May 2019 as measured by TPRI Tejas Ley. At least 50% of 2nd grade English language learners will achieve intermediate level as measured by TELPA's reading, which is also an assessment for our English learners. 100% of students serviced by special programs need at least 1 year of growth. The 40 is a scaled growth that we receive through Star Renaissance, and that is at least equivalent to 1 year of growth. So what our teachers have committed is that the students will reach that by February 2019, so they can exceed the 1 year's growth since they are already students being serviced by special ed. In the area of math, again, you'll see the 90-60-30, 90 approaches, 60 meets, 30% mastery in 3rd through 5th grade as measured by STAR for the area of math to achieve a distinction in the area of math and academic growth. 90% of 1st and 2nd grade students will achieve the recommended scale score as measured by Renaissance Texas STAR, which is also under our direction of Dr. Science, and working with our librarians, we closely monitor these students that take the test beginning of year, middle of year, and end of year, which is Renaissance, it's a scale score. 100% of students serviced by special programs exceed 1 year of growth as measured by this program, which is Star Renaissance, and that is a greater than 40 scale growth. In the area of science, 90-60-30 student achievement in 5th grade. This is 1 grade level that does test science in the area of STAR for science and achieve a distinction in the area of science. For writing, 90-60-30 in 4th grade as measured by STAR. At least 50% of 2nd grade English language learners, students reach intermediate level as measured by TELPA's writing, and at least 70% of 3rd grade English learners move up 1 proficiency level, and this is particularly in the area of writing as measured by TELPA's writing. Activities that we will be implementing to ensure these goals are met. This was an immediate action plan that we set forth for 30, 60, 90 days. So we felt as a team and as a campus that these were things that we needed to move on right away and then continue to monitor throughout the year. For 30 days, most of these have already been accomplished, and we will continue to monitor. Implement the CIA lesson cycle. This is through dual language, which is challenging, interactive, and authentic. However, all the classrooms have been implementing that particular lesson cycle model. Implement writing protocols with fidelity. We do have a district writing protocol in place. Identify all students in need of acceleration and begin accelerated instruction, which has also began. Our professional learning communities are done every Tuesday to discuss lesson design for engaging lessons with the students. We have also already conducted our very first student-led conference with success for Progress Report Card Night, and we will continue to do so throughout the year. We also have instructional rounds at another La Jolla ISD elementary that is actually occurring tomorrow. And so based on that, that was also something under the direction of Dr. B and Dr. Science that we implemented called instructional rounds. And so we identify a problem of practice. In this particular case, it is student-centered instruction. So elementary teachers from my campus will be going to another elementary campus to view those student-centered practices and bring back those ideas from other campuses that have gotten very high scores. Identify professional development needs and provide ongoing learning and coaching opportunities. Those were the initial 30 days. For 60-day activities, progress monitor accelerated instruction and proceed with necessary referrals to ensure student growth. And these are referrals in a particular area: speech, dyslexia, special ed, 504, RTI. Conduct first 6 weeks collaborative assessment protocol and regroup for mastery of skills. We do identify particular areas that the students have not performed well in, and then we provide those opportunities for them to accelerate. We will be implementing parent make and take sessions for 2nd through 5th grade. We will continue to conduct instructional rounds within the campus. Once we've gone out, we've learned the strategies, we will continue to implement those rounds at our very own campus, teachers within teachers. Utilize the science lab, kinder through 4th, 1 time bi-weekly and 5th grade weekly. Conducting our writing protocol checks to ensure that writing is occurring daily. Establish science camp procedures and conduct camp number 1. Once again, we take some of the strands that are the lowest, and then we will continue that every 6 weeks. For 90-day activities, we continue to conduct progress monitoring checks during our professional learning communities, and we'll implement the CIA lesson cycle in all content areas. At this time, we're beginning with science, and conduct instructional rounds within the campus. We do want to also stress that although there are only 3 distinctions in the PowerPoint, all of the distinctions, once we've achieved the 90-60-30, will also be taken care of, which is also the closing the gap and post-secondary. And Dr. B recently mentioned at a principal meeting that we do a lot of great work, a lot of good work at some of our campuses. And I think our scores are a good reflection of some of the work that we are already doing at Flores. But we're here today to make sure and make that commitment that our good work goes to great. So thank you very much. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We have Benavides Elementary, and if you could highlight your plan. Donna Martinez is principal.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for letting me be here this evening to talk about Benavides Elementary. I have Mr. Hernandez, our supervisor, here with me, and he'll be helping with the PowerPoint. I want to start off by saying this is my 4th year at Benavides Elementary, and during that time, my motto has always been only the best from day one, that we have only the best students and we want only the best from everyone. Dr. B has been sharing with us the book From Good to Great, and in this book, it says that good is the enemy of great. And that's the way I feel as far as our grade. We got a letter grade of C at Benavides, and that's good, but we don't want to be a C. We want to be great. We want to be a letter A. And so we are looking to see what all it is that we can do. In the past, I think we've been focusing on just getting the students to pass, but now we're focusing on the higher level so we can move to that letter grade of A. It all starts with relationships, and what I want to say about that is in the 3 years that I've been there, I've been working really hard to build a positive relationship with all the parents, the community, and of course the students and staff. Our school is a very welcoming school. Whenever you come in, you feel good to be there, and everyone is respected, and that's what we want. Besides relationships, we know that we need higher expectations. When we got our letter grade of a C, we were devastated. We were positive that we were going to be a B. And before school even started, we started working to see what is it we're going to do different this year. And we decided that it was all in the sense of urgency and the expectations, that we needed to start out day one doing everything we could to make sure that everyone knew our goals. And we have our goals that, of course, we want to be an A school. We want to be rated exemplary on the bilingual DLE program. And that's an expectation that we've really focused on so far this year. And of course, we want to receive all of our distinctions. How are we going to receive our goals? Well, our teachers are going to continue to plan and prepare and execute awesome lessons, because if the students are not engaged, they're not going to be learning, and we're really trying to incorporate a lot of technology. Also, Mr. Hernandez and I are visiting all the classrooms every single day. And when we're going in, we are giving them, the teachers, feedback, commendations, and recommendations. And to the students, we're also giving them feedback, because we want them to know that we're there to see how they are doing as well. Whenever we are giving feedback in the walkthroughs, we're keeping in mind those students that we've identified in our PLCs, in our data disaggregation of which are the students that are going to help us to meet our goal and which are the students we need to keep working with. I like to compare to the previous years. We're way ahead of where we've been in the past, because we've worked extra hard to be ready to implement everything. Next, I want to talk about protecting instructional time. We do not allow any interruptions. We've put a stop to a lot of things that would distract the students or the teachers. So we want to make sure that we get the most out of every minute. And like Ms. Escobedo mentioned, we are also with the student-led conferences, meeting with parents and letting them know how their students are doing. Also, Mr. Hernandez and I will be meeting with each of the students before the benchmark and then again before the Real Star test, so we can set goals with them. Every Tuesday, whenever we are meeting with the teachers, we're looking at each of the levels to see what can we do for each and every student, and that we can provide the best. A lot of support has been given to Benavides Elementary, and we're very grateful for that. Ms. Magda Villarreal has been guiding and supporting us last year, and this year she comes to our campus weekly. We also call upon any of the coordinators, reading, science, math, and they are there also weekly. And we're trying to make sure when we visit in the classrooms that all the district programs, the Reading Renaissance, Imagine Learning, the bilingual program, that everything is being followed with fidelity. We want to make sure that everyone is doing all that we can. This year, we are going to start the learning walks where the teachers can go and visit other teachers and give some feedback on that. The last thing I want to say is that at Benavides Elementary, it's only the best. And when you drive out of our parking lot, if you look at the back of the marquee, it says, "I did my best today." Every single day, I tell the students and the staff, can you answer that honestly? In your heart and mind, you know that you did your best today. That's what we're expecting from everyone. And I'm confident to say that we are going to give our best, and we're going to try to reach all of our goals. So, thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Our next campus is going to present their plan is Seguin Elementary. Dr. Sandra Cerda is principal.
Good evening, Ms. Bradomín Garza, Board President, members of the board, Dr. Benavides, Superintendent of Schools, Assistant Superintendents, and members of the community. My name is Dr. Sandra Cerda, and I am the principal of Seguin Elementary, and this is my supervisor, Mr. Veronica Herrera. This evening, I am here to review my accountability ratings and to report my plan of action to improve the overall letter grade of my school. The 2018 accountability ratings overall summary were as follows. My rating for student achievement was Med Standard with a skill score of 65. My rating for school progress was Med Standard with a 74. Academic growth, Med Standard with a 72. Relative performance, Med Standard with a 74. Closing the gaps, Med Standard with a 76, and overall, Med Standard with a 75. My plan of action has 4 components. I will keep it very simple. The following are attendance, academics, human resources, and behavior. Attendance is a priority because students need to be in school to learn. We will ensure students are in class through the following: through providing incentives, recognitions, and calling on support services, such as student services and transportation. Why transportation? Because I have dealt with floods, and because the buses cannot get to my students, the students cannot come to school. But I want to thank Mr. Modi for being there for me and trying his best to get the buses when they're stuck and trying to get the kids to school. The second thing is academics. It is a priority, and we need to ensure the following. We need to ensure that we are teaching with fidelity to the curriculum. The classroom instruction is sound. We're teaching with sound teaching and authentic literacy. We continue the analysis of data through weekly tests, 6 weeks tests, benchmarks, data walls, PLCs, reading renaissance, and any needed interventions. Human resources. It's a vital component to provide highly effective teachers in every classroom by providing the following: professional development based on student need by using the programs such as the response to intervention, 504, dyslexia, special education. Professional development based on teacher need by providing design lab, the consultants, the peer coaching, and the model lessons. And we plan to build teacher effectiveness by capitalizing on the following: the teacher's abilities, their skills, their expertise, and their ability to accomplish our school goals. Lastly, behavior. Students need to experience a positive learning environment to ensure student engagement. Teachers can provide the following: opportunities to praise students, rewards to increase positive classroom behaviors, offer support and encouragement for students' self-esteem, and together as a team, the classroom teacher, administration, the leadership team, and the family member, we can do it together. That is simply my plan to move Seguin Elementary from a C campus to an A campus. I want to thank you for your support, and I want to thank my teachers for being here and supporting me tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Cerda. Thank you, Donna. And thank you, Mrs. Escobedo. Sorry, Donna, I'm on a first-name basis. And so we're expecting great things from these 3 campuses: Flores Elementary, Benavides Elementary, and Seguin Elementary. A is the goal. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you, principals, for your all's improvement plan. And moving on to item number 3, purchasing cooperatives fees report.
This is just a requirement, and it is required that we share with the board, and it's Texas Education Code 44.0331 that requires that the cooperative management fees paid by the district be reported annually to the school trustees. Any questions? Is there anything that anyone wants to add? Mr. You don't have anything to add? Are there any questions on the purchasing cooperative report and what is being paid each year? This was for the 2017-2018 school year.
Okay, moving on to item number 7, public comments. Do we have any public comments
No,
at
we
this time? We have no public comments at this time. Moving on to item number 8, consent agenda. Can I entertain a motion? I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I believe we have a pull-out item for.
Yes, and that was number 4 under bids.
Yeah, so we're pulling out that, and with that, I'll do the so move on the. I'll second it.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Alanis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to item number 4.
Correct.
Under contracts A, approval memorandum of understanding between La Jolla ISD and Passages. Can I entertain a motion?
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 11, under tab A, sponsored graduate students at Texas Women's University for Speech Language Pathologist Master's Degree Program.
Second that.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Alanis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 12, memorandum of understanding between La Jolla ISD and the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley for counselors.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 13, National Gear Up Week proclamation. I have a motion. Can I entertain a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Alanis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14, contract between Hidalgo County Elections Administrator Ivan Ramon on behalf of Hidalgo County and La Jolla ISD for the general school board election to be held on November 6, 2018.
Doc, this is just a contract, right? We had already approved the site.
Correct.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Alanis, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 15, approval of telephone system TEO phones maintenance contract.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 16,
I'm
termination,
gonna have, oh, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
termination of O'Hannon, McCullum, and Demarath for legal services for special education.
I'll go ahead and so move with the addition that legal.
Mr. President, members of the board, with respect to this item, historically, the special education legal services has been a specialized contract with the district, and Mr. O'Hannon's office is currently conducting other services for the district, and so the goal on this item was specifically just to terminate that special education agreement and roll over any and all services that he's doing under special education and HR into his current contract that he has with the district.
We'll streamline the work in the
That's
contract,
correct.
okay?
And we're asking for approval of that arrangement.
So termination for the beginning.
Just only terminating the special education agreement because we're rolling those services over into his current contract.
Okay, so also move as required, as recommended by legal counsel.
I have a motion. Can I entertain a second?
Second that.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Alanis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to tab C, business and finance.
No, number 4 on bids.
Number 4, just read it.
We pulled it out.
Oh, on bids, I'm sorry. Moving on to item 4 on bids, school and office supplies for warehouse stock bid 2018-83. Ms. Zapata? Yes, I think that'd be the least.
You need to speak really loud, Miss. No, just speak really loud.
So it's the same two vendors that are tied for those 19 items. And we're gonna start with item number 78. It's the same two vendors. It's Pyramid School Products, and School Specialty. So we'll start with number 78. And the winning vendor is Pyramid School Products. Next item is number 79. School Specialty. Next item is number 80.
school specialty.
German?
Item number 83. Item number 84. We visit you again, Mr. Kant. School specialty. Next one's number 86. Pyramid School Products. Number 95.
Pyramid.
97.
German?
98. School special. 100. Pyramid School Products. 101. Specialty. 102. Product. 103.
School specialty.
120. Our last one.
German? Give me-
Moving on to item number 5 under business and finance, proposed submitted by engineering firm for Seguin Elementary chiller replacement project. Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
A motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 6, standard form of agreement between owner and contractor for renovations to the chiller project at the Performing Arts Center.
Se-
I got a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Alanis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 7, grant an easement to Iowa Sud Special Utility Corporation at Dr. Mendiola Elementary School.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Item number 8, discussion and possible action on authorizing administration to proceed with courts and school program.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Cantu, a second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Do I have a discussion, Jerry?
Well, I was just gonna say with us this evening, we do have State District Judge Keanu Vasquez. I don't know if the board would like to hear a few words from Judge Vasquez regarding
Yes, sir.
what he plans to propose for the district.
Well, first of all, good evening, and thank you for having me here. You know, we make promises about giving back to our community, and I believe I've kept that promise coming by here. I think La Jolla Independent School District is doing a wonderful job, and there's an opportunity to give back to our community. We always think, who's our community also? Are the kids who you serve every single day, and that's important. What I see at the courthouse all the time are kids who are doing extremely well. They're there basically on field trip to see what they may want to do. They may want to be a judge, an attorney, a deputy. But there's those kids that are on the bubble who may have some problems. And section 42.025 gives us authority to come to your school district. And when we come here, we're actually gonna hold court. It's not a mock trial, it's not a fantasy trial. It's a real trial where individuals come here in handcuffs, if defendants, it'll be a controlled environment. No one has done this. No one has done this yet, except in the Laredo area. So La Joya Independent School District has a huge opportunity to be one of the first schools to be able to promote this, to be able to help our community, which is our kids, and that's our number one priority. So this got approved, which I appreciated. The DA's office, the sheriff's department, they're all on board with it. Everybody is. So we went to Laredo last week and we observed how it worked, and it was just fantastic. Kids were focused. The administration was there also, they're present, and it gives a sense of we're giving back. We're giving back to our community, and we seem to be like I've always gotten involved with back to school supplies, but we're taking this maybe a little further as to help those kids who are at risk need that help. Without the board and the trustees here, it's not possible. So you guys are you're thinking forward thinking here, what needs to be done. So I applaud the school board, the superintendent, all the support and staff, which is very important. You will be the first in the valley if you take advantage of this, to do this. And it's an incredible opportunity, an incredible program. So I just wanted to thank you very much for approving this on the agenda. And we're here to serve you all. And that's what we're here for, to give back to our community. And I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you all. So thank you.
We're excited for the opportunity, and thank you for bringing this towards us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
So with that being said, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to tab E, Human Resources. Item number 5, maximum class size exception.
Also move.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to add just that we are required, if there is a class that exceeds 22 to 1, we're required to ask for a waiver. And we do have some classes who exceed. We're looking at numbers every week and making adjustments as necessary. But if there are some, which we do, then we're required to ask for a waiver. And that's the reason for this agenda item.
But we are looking into ways to try to keep it at 20.
Yes, and we do our best, and that's the reason why you've heard of some teachers that have been moved recently, and we'll continue to look at that, and then if we need to hire out, we will. But that'll be the last resort. Thank you.
Moving on to item number 6, approval of optional flexible day, school day program.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Alanis, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, after-school centers on education, ACE tutors.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Cantu, a second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, increase in Gear Up tutor pay from $8 to $10 an hour.
So move.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Mr. Cantu, a second by Mr. Salinas. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 9, request for new FTE for a Go Center proctor to service Thelma Salinas Early College High School and the Academy of Health Science Professions and STEM.
So move.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, Texas After School Centers on Education 21st Century 2018 to 2019 calendar.
Also move. Second that.
I have a motion on Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Alanis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries.
This one, just in case you get a question, they will be working on a different calendar because they have 197 days. So because there won't be after-school activities on testing weeks, that's why we had to adjust their calendar.
Item number 11, public hearing and approval of salary adjustments regarding payment in excess of contractual amounts. At this time, it is 7:09. We are now entering the public hearing.
For the public hearing, I'd like to report that there are certain schools that have been a part of Project Rise since last year, and that's Chapa Elementary, Richards Middle School, Juarez Lincoln Elementary, and Palmview High School. And this will be paid through the grant. That's the reason why we're having this public hearing.
Do we have any comments? Then at this time, at 7:09, we're now out of the public hearing.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Can we do the same for 11 and 12? It is now 7:10. At this time, we enter a public hearing for approval salary adjustments and regarding payment in excess of contractual amounts.
This is the same thing. You had already done this before, but it was when I want to say Mr. Ann Richards, Mr. Ocaña, the principal, was not at the campus, and so these people got left off. And that's the reason why we have a separate agenda item to include these additional staff members.
At this time, do we have any comments, questions, concerns? Then at this time, at 7:10, we now exit our public hearing. Can I entertain a motion?
Also moved.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Salinas, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. At 7:10, we'll be going into executive session pursuing Government Code 551074, 551072, and 551071. Can I entertain a motion?
So moved.
Got a motion, second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are now in executive session. Okay, it is 8:42. We're out of executive session. Item H under personnel. Can I entertain a motion?
Mr. President, I'd like to make motions for approval as discussed in executive sessions, items 1 through 5.
I have a motion. Can I
Second.
entertain a second? I have a
Second.
motion by Mr. Alanis, a second by Mr. Cantu. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Can I entertain a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Actually, Mr. President, members of the board, I apologize. It's not 1 through 5, Mr. Alanis. On item number 4, on the level 3 grievance, I'm recommending a motion of no action.
We'll rescind that motion.
Let me rescind that motion and go based on items 1, 2, 3, and 5 as discussed in executive session.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For item number 4, I move that we take no action.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Now can I entertain the motion for adjournment?
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.